Music is everywhere around us, and no matter who we are, it affects us in some way. For writers, it can be a great creative outlet. For drummers, a great workout. And for everybody, a whole lot of fun. Of course, nobody should expect perfection when they're first starting out. Even bands like Steampunk Love Machine had to start somewhere and grow their skills. But no matter who you are, most people get exposed to music when they're very, very young.
My first instrument was probably the front end of my crib. My parents tell me that at about like age 1.5 or 2 or whatever it is, I would be listening to or hearing music in the house, and I would be beating my head, like on all fours, beating my head against the front of the crib. And if you ask my friends and family and people who know me, they would say that explains a lot.
When kids get a little older, they start school, where music is a regular part of their education through classes and activities. A fascinating example of the talent and benefits that music can bring to a child is the Grant Elementary Drummers and Dancers.
It was never official, but Grant was one of the 2 schools in Spokane Public Schools for many, many years where African American students went to school. In fact, the street where the redlining happened was right in front of Grant Elementary. So kids who lived on the north side of Grant Elementary were often students of color, whereas anybody living south of 9th Street wasn't a person of color. So there was discrimination. In 1974, the music teacher at Grant, her name was Margot Dries, started the program to help the students of color at Grant be proud of their African heritage and do drumming and dancing. There's a music teacher in Spokane that initially taught me. His name's Michael Moonbear, who did a lot of African drumming and taught us some of our dances when I was first with the program. Then I've just taken workshops through usually music educator conferences. Usually the number runs between 30 to 60 students in the program. We have a traveling group of usually about 30 to 40 students that we will take on the road. So when younger students come in, they have to learn the dances, they have to learn drumming patterns.
I would say it's helped me for like presenting because it showed me that it's okay, like if I mess up, it's okay, but I just keep trying, and like it's giving me a lot of like creativity and stuff like that for me to showcase when I'm like performing, or for like when I'm presenting like something I've made, and yeah.
I've had several instances where I've had adults who were in my program come up to me and just tell me how much that program meant to them. I had one student who was, came from a pretty poor background and was kind of doing okay in school, and he came back when he was a senior in high school. He was an all-state honor football student, which meant that he was, one of the best football players in the state, but also one of the best students in the state. And he told me specifically, he said, this program helped me learn to work hard and set goals and to plan for what I'm going to do, and it definitely made a difference in my life.
And I can count myself among the kids who the Drummers and Dancers helped to get through school. To paraphrase the meaning of Botendere, it truly is a mighty miracle. So thank you, Mr. Cope. Or should I say, thank you, Dad. After many years of schooling, many kids continue to polish their skills at colleges and universities all over the world. At many colleges, there are opportunities for all people to showcase their talent, and music skills have been known to take people down some very unexpected paths.
When I was in college, music took me everywhere from, from like Boise, Seattle, jazz festivals all across the Pacific Northwest, but also to conventions and performances at conventions in places like Long Beach, New York City, Nashville, New Orleans, and Japan on a tour at one point.
Went to undergraduate school to study, really to become a better composer with no plans on teaching. But my professors were always saying, "Oh, you're a pretty good teacher. You should think about doing that." But long story short, I ended up at the University of Idaho basically to study composition. And when I was here, I was a graduate teaching assistant, so I was teaching, and people would say, "Oh, you're a pretty good teacher," and they figured out how to keep me here, so I'm still here.
Of course, some people may be nervous about performing for the first time or about starting when others are at a much higher level than they are. For those who are nervous or think they aren't good enough, various experienced people have some words of comfort.
You're gonna suck. Okay, I'll look right in the camera and say that you're going to suck. The first few times, unless you've got like a tremendous natural aptitude at it and you can just sing at the drop of a hat, and some people are like that, when you first learn to do it in an organized way with like sheet music and sight reading and all the stuff you need to do to take your musicianship past the just know it by heart and the learn it by ear method, you're going to be bad at it.
Once you get the hang of it, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like having a party.
The number of times I embarrassed myself in auditions is legion, and you learn from that and you realize, oh, these guys aren't messing around. You really do have to know all this stuff. It's not just a matter of scholarship, it's a matter of getting better at it as a musician.
Keep sticking with it. One of my colleagues went to a drumming workshop, and one day the instructor just said, "No, you're not getting this." And he had him go sit under a tree and practice and come back every hour or so. "Nope, you still don't have it. Keep practicing." And he basically spent all day under a tree trying to learn one pattern.
You've got to put in that work. There's no way around drill. There's no way around memorization. There's no way around repetition. It's like anything else you're going to get good at. The 10,000 hours thing, whatever you want to call it, that has to be there. Otherwise, you could be, a good sounding musician, but as one who could perhaps walk into a studio in LA and record one part of a quartet on the spot, having sight read at once, that's the kind of thing that study and training and repetition will do for you. And that's a career.
Of course, not everybody who starts playing is young. Older people play every day, and old dogs can definitely learn new tricks.
students here, and I know that Professor Larson and the other people here at the Falls have had a lot of students here who have come in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and have had a great time and have really become outstanding musicians just because they had the time to actually do it right, as opposed to when you're in your teens and 20s and you're a little bit more interested in the flash and the spotlight. So it's all about what it is you're trying to do.
I would say you're never too old to start, because once you start, it's, as I said, it was kind of scary, but like once you get, even if you're like 50, like it's not that hard to do it. Like once you get the hang of it, it's like kind of inviting, and it's like kind of easy to start with like drummers and dancers and dancing like that, because like it gives you opportunities to like showcase yourself, and it's kind of like nice to show like what you're made of.
We're never too old. Drumming is amazing. It brings out so many things and memories. There have been people who use drumming with Alzheimer's patients. And after, a while of drumming, they find out that their memory is more lucid. And this effect actually lasts about a day. So there is no pattern that you can't learn. Start with something easy, but just drum.
You're never too old to start. Get on for the ride and have a good time, and don't listen to what anyone says. Because I was thinking the other day, I've had some great mentors. Parents, teachers, colleagues to this day. Do I listen to all of them? Yeah. Do I do what they tell me? Not necessarily. Because it occurred to me the other day that if I had done what I was told to do by people I trusted, if I had done what I was told to do, I'd be doing nothing fun right now.
And that's really the message I'd like to share. Whoever you are, no matter how old you are, no matter how experienced or inexperienced you are, whatever instrument you want to pursue, just get up and play.
Fornication.